Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the M12. In fact, this is the stock M12, and I can tell that because of the gun shield. It's only on one side, not on both. Anyway, this one is located on the northeast spawn of Arctic region, otherwise known as Mannerheim Line, and this one is under the command of PurplePlayersLoveArty, and it's brand new. Game on. Well, as you know, the M12 came about because America needed a new self-propelled gun, artillery, that they could use on the battlefields of, World War II. They built 100 of them. They built 40 in the first year, in 1942, and by 1943 they built another 60. The M12 you're looking at the moment actually has the stock gun, which is capable of doing 600 alpha like the Top Gun, but it's only got the same penetration, 39mm of armor, but the reload time is slightly longer, 27.33 seconds as opposed to the Top Gun, which will do 26.56. So it's got slightly better reload times, and that alters the DPM a little. You can see that Purple Players managed to get the reload time down to 26.11. So he's not a bit off. Not a lot, but some. Now, they used these extensively in Europe during the Second World War, and the only one that's still remaining actually is called Adolph's Assassin, and is at the American School of Artillery at Fort Sill in Oklahoma, in their museum. You got that one right next door to the Skoda T40. Now, he has knocked down those fences. That could give the enemy an idea of where he is, especially if he's looking for the tracer. You don't want to give away clues like that, but look at this number of targets all together. So what he's doing is hopefully he will put rounds onto those guys whilst they're still grouped together and get loads of damage off all of them. Unfortunately, he can't at the moment because there's something in the way. Something is blocking his shot, and I have the feeling it's actually that cliff that's causing it. Not that cliff, but the one on the opposite side. So he's actually decided to try and go after that Tiger 1. I think he's going to leave a bit late. If he fires that one, he might get him. Oh, no. He didn't get him. You need just to change your position horizontally to get shots on the enemy. And I think he might have improved his position now to be able to hit those guys. This is where it really does help if you go to Battle Assistant to actually look at the enemy. You can see whatever the instruction is in the way and then alter your position. He's just been spotted by an enemy tank, so now he has to move. There's two enemy Artys. One of them's the Lorraine 15550 and the other's the M14, and they will start firing in this direction almost immediately. They've been spotted, or he's been spotted. I say almost immediately. It's more than likely that they were actually aiming at somebody else at that moment when he came into sight. But the moment you see an Arty, you tend to try and get the shots on them as quickly as possible. Okay, BK. Oh, well, he fired in that direction, but he didn't get spotted by the BK because he was actually behind the ridgeline. And we can see that the enemy Arty did get spotted is the SU-8. And yes, he did get fired at by the enemy Arty. So rounds were inbound, but because they couldn't see Purple Players, he was lucky. He's now firing ahead of the enemy here. He can't see them, and oh, it wasn't fully dialed in. I think that's the reason why it fell short. Now, there are enemy tanks on the way in. Our Hellcat spotting at the nearest end of the pass, and now Purple Players is actually aiming over the other side of the battlefield, trying to help this T-34-85M. But it blew his turret off. Okay, so he's now focusing his attention on the nearest heavy tanks And if he goes for the IS, he might be able to take that guy out of the game, but I'd go for the Tiger 1 and the others because they're all together. Rounds out, direct hit right into their face. Yes, as I'm saying, if you go to Battle Assistant, it's much easier to work out what the obstructions are and also to aim if you're trying to hit multiple tanks at the same time. Some people don't like, though, Battle Assistant. There is another version of Battle Assistant, not just the one that Wargaming put into the game. There's another version which you can get, which is through Armored Inspector, and it's much more stable. Plus, of course, you've got the shell camera, which enables you to follow the shell right to the moment it impacts the enemy. And that can be quite amusing, actually. It's kind of hold on to your seats because you fly through the air towards the enemy. And yeah, some people find it a bit disconcerting, but it's actually also quite fun to watch. Okay, go for the IS, rounds out, and it fell short again because of that ridgeline. But somebody just got hit by the SU-8. One of the enemy tanks crept up on that corner, and he just took a direct hit because there was no shell explosion. Now they're 4 down on the enemy at the moment, which means, yes, they are losing this game. But they can still turn this battle around. Well, didn't get that one in. I kind of get the impression that the reason why Purple Players is having so much difficulty with this M12 is mainly down to the fact that he hasn't got as much experience in this one yet. And so the crew are not up to scratch. There's a slightly greater amount of dispersion from the stock gun than there is from the top gun, so the shells are likely to go a little further away from the aim point. It's only a tiny amount. The dispersion for the top guns is 0.64. For the stock guns, it's 0.66. So it's a little bit extra. 6 centimeters extra. It sounds over 100 meters. Or is it 6.6 of a meter actually? It's 6. No, it's not 6 centimeters. It's 660 centimeters. That's it. Or maybe it's 6 centimeters. Maybe I'm wrong. It probably is 6 centimeters. Okay, this enemy managed to get really close to the IS, but he's got a chance of getting a kill here. And he does! And he wasn't seen when he did that. The guy got very close, but the bushes were well in the way and enabled him to get the kill shot in without being spotted. But somebody saw him. Yep, somebody saw the tracer. The enemy Arty came in, and I think the IS probably told his teammates they're in there. So he was probably able to work out exactly where the shots were coming from. And another kill. This time the Tiger 1 dies, and the enemy Arty's still sending shells in. But now there's only a 1 tank difference between the two teams. We've got 2 Arty and 2 tank destroyers. The enemy team has got 2 Arty, 2 tank destroyers, and a medium. And that medium is a Panzer IV Aslains S, which is, of course, a premium tank with a rather good gun. Quite a deadly gun. Well, he's firing that one blind. He's got 6 rounds left, and it looks like he stunned the SMV. Because it looks like it did land close to him. He did get stunned. Yep, he was using those trees for cover, using the bushes, and the shell landed right next door to him. And that's why he took some stun. Possibly some damage too. Oh, he got a direct hit there. That one definitely worked. 5 rounds left. Still 20 rounds for either vehicle. In actual fact, the M12 used to have another vehicle that would go around with it, which was identical. It was a T-30, I believe is the name of the vehicle, but it was a munitions carrier. It was actually charged with carrying all the shells to enable the M12 to operate. So it was an identical vehicle, just did not have the howitzer and all the space was used for carrying shells instead. Okay, the Panzer IV Ausführung S has got rather close, and the Besotte, I think he can see him, or the Besotte. It's possible also that the Panzer IV Ausführung S could see the Besotte and didn't want to make a move forward. We're looking for the enemy Arty at the moment over the other side of the map. No, we just got stunned, which means that the enemy was firing blind in this general direction, and he didn't get any damage off us, but he did put the shell close enough to actually get stunned. He's looking around for the tracer. It's a little more difficult to see it on a map where there's snow. But he's checking all the relevant positions to see if he can spot any tracer marks coming out from the bushes. I think that's a little too high actually for them. If anywhere, I would actually put them a lot further south. Have to expect them to be in grid square K1 or K2. Occasionally you'll see them in grid square J2, but not often. Now we've got the Nashorn trying to make it up. Now I have the feeling that after failing to do this, they'll probably come around the rock and attack from a different direction. So, and the Nashorn just took a big hit from our Besotte, and it looks like it's tracked him, or he's not moving. I think he is tracked, and there you go, he's gone. So now we're equal, and that was just a hit from the enemy Arty on the Besotte. Time-wise, we are getting close as well. And one of the enemy tank destroyers, the other one, is actually coming up from the south. It's the SMVCC. It's coming up from the south. We're just dialing in. We're almost ready. Not quite. Oh, and before our shell gets there, he gets taken out by the other Besotte and our team. And now, this is the moment the Panzer IV Ausführung S decides to appear. The SU-8 just hit him. We're not loaded yet, unfortunately, and we just lost the SU-8 to that Panzer IV Ausführung S, but we're about to be loaded, and we should be able to get a shot. He just took a hit. Oh, and that's a kill! That was a really good kill, and that means now the enemy team is down to just 2 Arty. So from being way down on the enemy, we're now way up on the enemy, well, by 1 tank. But it's a big difference. It means now that we can abandon our own cap area and go hunting in the enemy area. And when there's only 2 Arty, and you've got 2 Arty of your well, you haven't got 2 Arty of your own, because we've only got we lost the SU-8 to the Panzer IV Ausführung S. But we do have a chance of finding the enemy Arty and taking them out. Say the Besotte's heading to the north route. We're going the direct route. The M12's got a top speed of 38.5 kilometers an hour. Just according to the 38.6. Let's get around. Oh, we found them! And we shotgunned the M44. That was a brilliant shotgun. Oh my god, he didn't even think about it. He just held the gun steady and blasted, and that M44 just died very, very quickly. He had no time to react, and the Lorraine is still firing in our direction, and I think it's going to cost him now, because now we know exactly where he is. He was slightly to the north, somewhere in J1, I think. It looks like he's in J1, but it means the Besotte can come straight in, and the SMVCC 56 is coming up behind us. And we've also platooned with the Besotte, because we've both got at least 3 kills. In fact, Purple Players has actually got 4 kills now. But he's just going to drive in. He's got 2 shells left. He's found him. Oh, he wasn't over the other side. He was actually over here, or maybe he changed position. Our first shell doesn't work. Oh, but... Or did it? Yes, actually it did. it didn't actually kill him, but it certainly was that the Lorraine got his shot off and it missed. And now Purple Players is going to go around the rock and approach the guy from a different direction. Or is he going to turn? He's turning. No, he's taking the Lorraine on a trip, and then as soon as he can, I think he's either going to back up or he's going to turn around and shotgun this guy. I think the Lorraine's loaded, but he could still muck it up. Oh, he overshot! He overshot, and that's a kill. That took skill. That was a really good move. He made the Lorraine overshoot. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a first-class tanker for PurplePlayersLoveArty in the M12. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He ended up with 5 in that one, 1/3 of the enemy team, and just 1 short of getting a top gun. He got a counter battery fire medal because he took out both enemy Arty, the Lorraine and the M44. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he ended up with 14. And look at this, he got a Faden's medal because he killed the Lorraine with his last shot in his magazine. And that earns him a Faden's. I'm not sure if he realised that, but he did have 2 shells left before he met the Lorraine. And the first shell went into the armour on top of the howitzer, but it didn't actually kill him outright. But the second shell definitely did. He also got a Brothers in Arms as well for getting at least 3 kills and being in platoon with somebody else who had 3 kills, and that was, of course, the Basotto in the end. And his win rate from the battle was 3,095, which is super unicum level. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That actually went to one of the enemy team who got 2,415 hit points. It says, F.U. Man Shu. Yes, Fu Manchu. Sorry, let's get that right. His name is Fu Manchu, not F.U. That would be rude. Yes, he managed to get 2,415. The second highest was 45 TP, he got 2,085. And the third highest in the game turned out to be the Tiger 1 that he took out. 1,934 went to him. And after that, it's Purple Players who managed to get 1,634. So he's in 4th place on damage. But when it came to kills, he was in top place. Yes, he got 5 kills in the game. 2 kills went to one of the tank destroyers. I think it was 3 kills rather went to the Basotto. And 3 kills also went to one of the others on the enemy team. I'm pretty sure that was a Basotto on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he's top. 953 base to Purple Players. 879 went to the Basotto, and 850, was that 860? Pull on glasses. 860 went to the 45 TP. Let's get that right, sorry. Okay, right, well, he fired all 20 rounds in that game, got 7 direct hits on the enemy and 1 penetration. I presume that was the Lorraine right at the end of the game. I think the first shell did actually detonate on the side. It didn't actually kill him outright, but the second shell, that definitely hit the side of the vehicle. Yeah, actually it's showing 0 penetrations. So which one was it? Was it the M44 that he penetrated? Yes, it was. That one shot that he did on the M44 wiped him out completely. Got 315 hit points off that. But let's go back into the detail. He also got 16 splashes in the game, 1,634 hit points of damage, of which 806 were at more than 300 meters. So half the damage he did in the game was actually at close range. 1 hit received by way of splash damage. Well, I think that one counts as one of the enemy Arty actually did do a hit whilst it was splash hit whilst he was in aiming mode. So he didn't actually see who did it, but we can probably tell. Well, no, actually we can't tell, so I'd have to go back and have a look through the game to see who it actually was. But he did spot 2 enemy vehicles. That was both of the enemy Arty. 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 5 were killed, and 500 hit points of stun assist off 11 stuns. He earned 22,323 credits on a free-to-play account. Got 11,162 credits from personal reserve bonus, and that brought up a total of 33,485 credits altogether. And after repair and ammunition resupply, he took away a profit of 11,666 credits. 953 base XP. Same again from personal reserves, took away 1,906 experience points altogether. That was a great ending to the game. I mean, it was a really classy move to get the Lorraine to chase him and then to get him to overshoot at the right moment. So he just drove right out in front of Purple Players, and Purple Players could just blast him in the side and win the game. Superb and skillful move. I think a lot of us are probably going to look at that and say, yeah, I'll remember that. Next time I've got somebody like that chasing me, I'll stop suddenly, make them overshoot, and then blast them away. So very well played indeed. If you enjoyed that game, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.